Yeah, I know, it's only been 4 months and I'd said I'd be gone for 7, but come on, how could I not cover this? My time in the ether is done deepening. Let's get back to talking about stuff I like. Hey everyone, Road Breach here, and today we're taking a look at the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. I did plan to cover the teaser trailer along with the Lapse trailer, but there's not much you can really analyze from something that scant. But now that we have a gameplay trailer and a better understanding of what the final product will be like, I feel way more comfortable in running my mouth and speculating. So without further ado, let's analyze. To start off, we know that this game takes place in 1979 from the teaser trailer, and there's a good amount of scenery that makes it look the part. The computer monitors in the office look to be of ones you could get from that era, and much of the Fazbear paraphernalia, mainly the costumes, look like they could have appealed to kids of the time. That being said, robotics were nowhere near as sophisticated at the time as they appear in this game. I'm not saying it's completely impossible to have humanoid robotics in the late 70s, but they wouldn't be on the same level as Boston Dynamics. Though I guess you could excuse this as Fazbear Entertainment having some really good R&D. However, the other pieces of technology we see in this trailer do look like they could fit in a realistic setting for the 1970s. And in terms of visual fidelity, it looks to be about the same as Security Breach, not particularly pushing the current generation hardware to its limits, but still detailed enough to provide good immersion. The animatronics we see have varying designs. Some are cloth costumes over metal endoskeletons, like real animatronics usually are, and some are more like the classic FNAF designs with a harder material for the suit. The Music Man also makes a return with a retro design and what appears to be a music box cylinder in his mouth. But he's not the only familiar character we see in this trailer, because we also see a tiger with green and blue eyes. This is Tiger Rock, and he appears on the cover of Tales from the Pizzaplex number 7 with a similar design to what appears in the trailer, namely the fur and eyes. To those wondering, the book doesn't seem to have any relation to this game outside of Tiger Rock being here. In terms of gameplay, it seems like it will be similar to the Ruin DLC, in that we go on a linear path while solving puzzles and sneaking past animatronics. The trailer shows our character putting a crank into an empty socket, which means we may need to get these by either finding them or completing a puzzle in order to get them to progress. The game also looks to have a retro version of the Faz Wrench that's used to access these terminals, with the one that our character uses having two options labeled Reset Welcome Show and an option that doesn't seem to be accessible due to a low security clearance. So these options will most likely play into the puzzles. I speculate we may need to do the options on the screen in a set order to progress, and we'll obviously need to upgrade our security clearance to access more parts of the game, which, now that I think about it, kinda makes me wonder what format the game will be. Will it have some semblance of free roam like Security Breach, or is it going to be strictly linear like Ruin? That's to be determined in the future, I guess. There also looks to be one of those tube puzzles where you need to line up the tubes in order to solve it, and we may need to do these under a time limit to up the challenge. The trailer also shows our character winding up a toy mouse and throwing it, which will most likely play into the stealth mechanics to distract the animatronics. I was hoping for the game to be like Resident Evil with stealth instead of combat, so this concept isn't doomed from the start. And finally, the setup is that we get a call from someone that a Fazbear contractor named Edwin Murray is missing, and we need to retrieve the technology he was developing from his warehouse, that being the Mimic, an endoskeleton capable of adapting to whatever costume it's in, and can mimic performances of actors for shows. It's unclear who we're playing as, but I'm sure the game will tell us who we are, and that we may end up finding out that the Mimic killed Edwin. Simple premise, but simplicity can be great when it comes to storytelling. See Mission Impossible Fallout. Steelwool may have a massive spot on their record, but considering we're not in the middle of a pandemic, Steelwool shouldn't have any major obstacles in their way to get the game finished, and with most of the ideas they want to implement, so my hopes aren't in the gutter. And that's about all I wanted to discuss about this trailer. Overall, I'm optimistic about what's been shown here, but how do you feel about this trailer? Are you excited? Disagree with anything I said? Let's get a conversation going. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, and gotta zoom.